Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is another cookbook collaboration. It is finally time. It has been a month. This month went by super quick. If you are new here, I have been hosting monthly cookbook collaborations throughout the year, and now we are ready for our next one. There will be a playlist linked in the description box below that will have all the ladies that are joining in on this collaboration for this month. I am excited to see all their recipes. So they are going to be sharing recipes with you guys from either new to them cookbooks or tried and true cookbooks, homemade cookbooks, whatever it is. They should have their cookbooks linked for you guys, or if it's a homemade cookbook, then they probably will have it typed out. Either way, please remember that this collaboration is just to inspire you to cook from cookbooks. And I cannot share the measurements with you guys because I'm not going to take away from the author. I'm not going to take away credit from whoever put this together. So my cookbook that I'm going to be using for this video is this Betty Crocker's fresh from the freezer. I took one day and I just freezer prepped, y'all. And this cookbook was amazing for that. I did some freezer pancakes. I did meatballs. I did chicken. I did taco meat. I did tamale pies. I took all day long, used this cookbook, and I freezer prepped, and it was amazing. I love the inspiration from this cookbook. I got this actually on sale. I got it for $1 at the book warehouse. I will have a link to this in the description box so y'all can get this awesome cookbook. So one of the things I loved about this cookbook, it's not just showing you how to freezer prep pancakes or freezer prep French toast or chicken or meatballs, but it shares recipes on how to, what to use with the chicken or with the meatballs. And so that's one of the things I loved about it, because I actually freezer prepped some chicken, and then in the slow cooker right now, I have that chicken, I've thawed it out, and I'm making it into a recipe. So that's one of the things I loved about this, is because it doesn't just give you like how to, it also shares amazing recipes to use with what you have freezer prepped. So this one's kind of a little different for me. I know the past I have been doing like dinners, but this time I really wanted to try out this cookbook, and so I was excited to be able to use it in today's video. So I really hope you enjoy it. We're going to start off with making pancakes. Y'all all know how to make pancakes, so I didn't actually share this, but we're going to start off with pancakes, and I really hope you guys enjoy this video. It made 38 pancakes. Yay! So I'm going to let these completely cool, and then we will come back and I'll show you how I wrap them up to store in the freezer. So now I'm going to be doing some of this make-ahead shredded chicken. It says to use bone in, skin on, but I'm just going to use what I have. Y'all already know that's how I am. I use what I have. So I finally found some chicken breast in these bags. It's been a few weeks since I've had any. So I'm going to use this whole bag. And I've got the oven preheated at 400. Y'all already know it's kind of basic how you can just go ahead and do like make ahead chicken and shred it. I've done it before in the crock pot, but right now my crock pot's full for dinner. So I'm just gonna go ahead and bake this in the oven. I've got my pan here. So I'm gonna lay these out, season them really well, and then we will get them put in the oven. So all the chicken is in the oven cooking up. I'm gonna go ahead and start on these meatballs. Now I'm just using this one as inspiration just to get some freezer meatballs, but I'm gonna use this 3-pound thing of ground beef instead of turkey. And I might add a few of these, but y'all know I'm super easy when it comes to mixing stuff together, and I'm not gonna make my own breadcrumbs or any of that stuff. So we're going to, like I said, just use this one as inspiration. We're not actually going to follow the recipe itself, but I'm going to go ahead and get enough meatballs for whatever this is, 3 pounds. Normally when I do meatballs, I normally do 3 pounds, and it's normally about 25-ish meatballs. So I'll just divide it in half. So this will be 2 meals of meatballs for us. So let's go ahead and get these mixed together, and we will get them in the oven also. I have done these in the crock pot before. I'll have that video linked where I talked about me cooking the chicken, and I'll have the one with the meatballs, but my crock pot is full. So we're just gonna do them in the oven. So it ended up making 31. I did these a little bit smaller than I normally do, so that kind of, you know, gives me that little extra. So once the chicken's done, I will pull the chicken out, let it cool, and then we will pop these in a 400-degree oven and get these cooked up. The chicken is all done. So I'm going to wrap it up for a little bit just to kind of let it rest and hold in those juices. That way it doesn't dry out. And then I will unwrap it and let it completely finish cooling. And then we will shred it up. Since there's 4 breasts, I normally do 2 breasts per meal. So I will shred this up into 2 freezer bags, and we will have 2 packages of ready to go shredded chicken for any lunches or dinners or anything we need it for. Okie dokie, next on the list is some Make Ahead Mexican ground beef, which is just taco meat. But I'm making this because I want to make these tamale pies. So I've had the little foil pans for a while, so I think this is going to be perfect. I'm cooking up my ground beef here. It's still frozen, so I added a little water in there. Going to cook it up, and this recipe calls for 2 cups. So whatever is left from the rest of the taco meat, then I will just freeze it, and we'll just, you know, just have taco meat. So it kind of works 2 ways. I'm gonna have some extra taco meat plus have these in the freezer also. So this is just like the perfect all-in-one freezer meal cooking day based off of this awesome cookbook. So I've got my taco meat made, and I've scooped some out that I need for this recipe. And I'm gonna make these tamale pies. I'm gonna go ahead and mix together the meat mixture so I can get it cooled while I go get Winston, and then I can come back and put it together. That way it's kind of cooled down, so it's easier just to, it's gonna be quicker to pop in the freezer to freeze them instead of having to let them sit and wait to cool down. So I've got my taco meat here. I've got, it says you can do black beans or pinto beans. I've got 1 can of black beans rinsed and drained. And then it calls for a can of diced tomatoes. And then it called for a can of green chilies. Instead, I'm just using Rotel, which is pretty much what that is. That's all it is. It's tomatoes and green chilies. It's just mixed together. And it does call for a can of tomato sauce, which I thought I had. So that's why I didn't pick any up at the store. But I guess I'm all out. So we're just going to do without it. But I'm sure it will be okay. Y'all know how it is over here. I always just kind of wing it. So I'm going to mix this together. And then I'm going to put this in the bottom of my little tin pans. And then sit them up here so that way they can be cooling off while I go get Winston. Okay, so I really should have made sure I had everything before I started making these. But it says that it makes 6 of these pies. I only have 5 of these little dishes. So I'm going to go with what I have. I've got 5 here. I have filled them up like it says, but there's still quite a bit left. I think it could easily do 8 pies. Because this is with, you know, the amount of meat and everything. The only thing I didn't add was the tomato sauce, and I don't think that's going to make a huge difference in, you know, how many it makes. So with the amount of meat bean mixture here, I would say it would easily make 8 pies. And it also says at the bottom that you can make this into a casserole. Just put it in like a foil pan and then top with the cornmeal topping on top. So you could do it either way. You can do it in little individual pot pies, or you can do it in a casserole style. So I'm just going to stick with the 5 that I have. I'm going to let these cool, and then when we come back, I will mix together the cornmeal mixture and put it on top. And then this, I think I'm just going to add this into the regular taco meat that I made. I mean, it's just beans and tomatoes. So I'm going to add this in just with that. So that way it gives me a little bit extra to freeze for just the plain taco meat. So that's what I'm going to do with that. And then that way it kind of stretches this a little bit more. And I can just freeze that. So we have, so far we have 1 meal with taco meat. And we have 2 meals of meatballs. And then we've got 2 meals of chicken. And then we have the 30+ pancakes for the freezer. So I think we had a pretty good freezer meal day, y'all. So whenever I store my pancakes in the freezer, I like to use these little patty papers. I found these at the Dollar Tree. If you don't have these, you can just use like bigger pieces of parchment paper instead of doing like, you know, 4 individual. You'll see how I stack them in a second. But I just make sure to have a piece of paper in between each one so that way they don't stick together. You could technically, like, if you had the room, you could flash freeze these flat and then, you know, once they're completely frozen, put them all in a bag and you wouldn't have to worry about that, but I don't have room for that. So I always just put paper between them and it works perfect. So now I'm going to finish off the tamale pies. I'm going to make the cornmeal portion. You just take and cook that on the stove for a little while. Don't forget that I will have this cookbook linked down below, so y'all can, if you purchase it, you can get this recipe. But I'm sure you can just Pinterest tamale pies and I'm sure something will come up. But I'm so excited to try these. This is something new to us. Like, we've had homemade tamales, but I've never had like tamale pies like this, so I'm excited. So I just put that on the top and then added some cheese. And then you're just going to let them completely cool, and then y'all will see me wrap them up in a second. So to freeze these, I just took and wrapped them really well in some foil. You could use Saffron App and then foil, but instead I just used one of those parchment paper sheets, put it on top, and then I just wrapped it very well in foil. The cookbook said to cook these frozen, so we'll just keep them in the freezer until we decide to have these for dinner one night. I'm super excited to try this recipe. Don't forget that I will have that cookbook linked down below. Y'all, that cookbook gave me some amazing inspiration. It was great to just take one day and get all that stuff done. And then I love that that cookbook has recipes to make from what you have prepared in your, from your freezer prep. So don't forget that this video was a open collaboration. I will have the playlist linked down below, so y'all make sure to go check out all the lovely ladies and give them some love. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.